So, our topic today, well, our monthly topic is belief and believing, but our talk message today is called The Sacred Science of Believing, because it is a sacred science. And I want to start with a quote by Ernest Holmes that really assisted me this week. I don't even remember if it was in the reading or not, or whether I just turned to a page. Doesn't really matter. It goes like this. Spiritual things must be spiritually discerned, and when we are ready and willing spiritually to discern, we shall find a ready response from the invisible into the visible. Let us do our work conscientiously and thoroughly, and leave the results to the law, which is perfect. A new light is coming into the world. We are on the borderland of a new experience. The veil between spirit and matter is very thin. The invisible passes into visibility through our faith in it. A new science, a new religion, and a new philosophy are rapidly being developed. This is in line with the evolution of the great presence, and nothing can hinder its progress. The truth will out. The spirit will make itself known. Happy are we if we see these things which, from the foundation of the human race, have been longed for by all aspiring souls. So, I want to focus on spiritual things must be spiritually discerned. And when we are ready and willing spiritually to discern, we shall find a ready response from the invisible to the visible. So, I wasn't going to talk about this today because it's new, but then what I thought to myself is, and I was trying to think of other things to talk about, and then I realized that my whole ministry is based on my experiences and bringing the truth to them, and then speaking about them. So I'm going to tell you from my own spiritual discernment how I worked through something this week that was very traumatic and very tragic, which was the loss of my cat. Not Quanta, but Miss Kitty at home. And she was taken in a violent way, and I'm not going to go into those details, so it's not important, but it was instantaneous. So sometimes we get accused in science of mind, religious science, of bypassing our feelings, and I just want to let you know that there's not one bypass that I did this week, not one feeling bypass, and I'm still doing that. Like, I'm still allowing myself to have the waves of grief and mourning that one has when they lose something precious. So, and especially in such a sudden way when you're not ready for it. So, in order to work through this, I had to first be willing. Like, if you want to heal from something, you have to be willing to heal from it. Because if you're not willing, or you're saying you are, but you're really not, because you continue to tell the same story over and over again, and you're not doing the inner work. And I'm doing that inner work, and that's why I can talk about it, even though I'm still in process. I'm doing the inner work that it takes to get through something like this. So the first thing I had to do was release myself from the images, the traumatic images. And because I am familiar with quantum science, I understand that when something happens very dramatic, it lodges in us. It collapses in us. And if we don't take care of it, in our pace, in our own pace, at least start to look at it and want to change it, it's going to store itself one way or the other. And it's going to store itself in our bodies. That's where it goes. And that's where disease starts to happen, because we haven't processed whatever that trauma is. This is what, all the PTSD and all that stuff is about. So I'm conscious of that. So every time that image came up, I'm giving you tools, every time that image came up, I didn't try to stop it. You never try to stop it, because what you're doing if you're trying to stop it is you're resisting it and you're allowing it to just lodge somewhere. Instead, I let it wash through me, and continue to wash through me, so that I finally, and I'm still working on it, take my word, but what happened was the love, the intense love that I had for this cat, right? And that's what started to transmute the energy of the violence. It was the love that I felt, the deep love that kept replacing that trauma over and over and over again. So like I said, I'm still working on it, but I know that if we want to heal from anything, we have to be willing to face it and realize that something bigger is happening behind it, something that we need to know, or it would not be at our doorstep. When we say it's done unto us as we believe, that is not like meant to tell us that we believe this and that's why it happened and blah, 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 blah. No, there's a lot of other things that are going on, but it's done unto us as we believe, meaning that what I choose to do, what arrives at my doorstep, what I choose to do with it is going to be backed by my beliefs. That's the sacred science of believing. What do I choose to believe about this? What do I choose to use to process this so that I can heal? Because we all want healing. We all want wholeness. We want it in time, though. We don't want to force it because it can't be forced. It has to take its process. And then what I know is that little by little, we start to wash clean and we realize this higher perspective. So in this instance, I had to take, and I thought about this, like a non-believer might say to you, oh, well, you're just trying to make excuses so that you can get through it or whatever. That's not true. Because like this quote says, spiritual things must be spiritually discerned when we are ready and willing spiritually to discern. We will get a response from the infinite universe. We will get a response because things are meant to be spiritually discerned because we're spirit. We might be having an earthly experience and all these things can happen for us, through us, as us, they all happen. And then the other thing is they're happening for our highest good all the time because they're bringing us back to ourselves. So if I don't take this instant and try and work on spiritually discerning it, I'm going to just be stuck in the effect. I'm going to go through life being angry. I'm going to do all these things that we don't want to do. We're loving beings. We have this. So how do you spiritually discern that? Well, I say what I believe. I'm a religious scientist. I'm a quantum person. I say I believe certain things. Do I really believe them when something happens? Can I look at this from a higher perspective? And so I started to do that. I started to look at my little cat, who we were going to probably eventually have to put down because she was ailing, right? But she wasn't ready to be put down. And then I thought to myself, and it was weird because everybody keeps saying this to me, and they're, so I go, well, that's what's meeting me. That perhaps it was something that she wanted to be released from the body. Not, because just remember, animals, they are so at one with nature. They are so living in the subconscious field that I don't know what they think, but I know that they're so attuned to nature and so attuned in the quantum field that they're not separate from it. And so this, for me, all happened on a subconscious level to the point that I didn't even get to witness it because it happened so fast and so silently that my back was turned and that's how fast it happened. And I didn't get to experience any of it until I got to hold this little kitty in my arms and help it, just give it my love. So why? There was an appointment between her and this other animal, I do believe, that showed up out of nowhere and didn't disturb anybody else. That had to happen. So am I trying to make myself feel better? No. This is what's coming through me. It's just coming through me and has been coming through me And it almost was instantaneous. It started to come through me that there's something divine happening here, something that I need to look at spiritually instead of just looking at the world of effects. So why am I telling you all this? Because what you choose to believe about anything is your vibration. It's how you're affecting your life. You get to choose a new belief. And your belief is not going to necessarily be grounded in reality of what you look at in the world of form. Because if you keep looking out at something, then your belief is coming from what is already made, and that's all effect. That's effect. So does this bring my cat back? No, it doesn't bring my cat back, but it does transmute the energy that I'm feeling so that I can love her where she is now and feel her. And I have been. And it was very should I tell you this Sunday? But I couldn't not tell you because I feel like I have to be real with what's happening in my life. And I have to share with you how I work through things, hoping that it will help you when something happens, that you'll say, oh, I remember when Reverend Rita said that. And maybe I need to look a little more closer at this spiritually. Maybe I need to get beyond. There's so much happening. I was talking to people this week, there's so much happening that we don't see, that we can't even put the pieces together, but the universe puts the pieces together. It always is putting the pieces together for us. And this is so reassuring to me and so helpful. And I can go through my mourning now. I can cry and go through my waves of mourning and grief and all of that. And yet I can know that I'm being backed by something that's infinite, that is here for me all the time. So I'm going to close with this one Bible quote that now I understand. And I invite you to, just for yourself, whatever's going on in your life, to do your best to maybe reinterpret it in a spiritual way. And if you can't, to just get help for that or pray. Because I treated and I meditated and I did all these things so that all of this could come about. I didn't just sit there and think about it and go, oh, I really went deep. Anyway, there's a Bible quote from Corinthians that says, "For now we see through a glass, darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but I shall know even as also I am known." In other words, because we're living in this affect world, and we're drowning in our relative world, and we're just sometimes just looking at what's in front of us. But there's coming a time, and that's why I think Ernest Holmes says the veil is getting thinner. He said this back in 1927, so I think it's about time that we rip the veil and look into the upper realms, right? So there is a time when we will see clearly, and we won't have all this angst, and we'll feel our sadness, because of course we're gonna feel sadness. We miss those we love. We miss them when they leave. We miss their touch and their physical thing, but we'll be able to process it in a different way and feel the eternality of life. So I just wanted to share that with you today. Like I said, I couldn't just go on and go, oh, I'm just gonna talk about sorry. No, you're going to talk about Santa Claus. He'll bring us some laughs. So I hope I haven't been depressing, but I just wanted to share it and wanted to let you know that there is a way through the darkness. There is a way through the tragedy. There is a way, and we're all here for each other to help ourselves find that way. So, and we just have to believe in something greater. Thank you.